Hey everyone. So number talk for what's missing Thursday. So looking at our problem, we have a multiplication equation with a missing factor. So we're going to have to figure out how to find that missing factor. The students and I have worked together to help them understand that if we take the product and we divide it by one of the factors that is included, that will help us to find what the missing factor is. So let's go ahead and look at that now. So we have 164 divided by 82. Now, my students typically, when they see a problem like this, it really kind of maybe unnerves them a little bit, maybe intimidates them a little bit because they see these two numbers automatically thinking about how many times will 82 go into 164. We have talked many times about finding relationships among numbers, regardless of where you see those numbers. So the relationship I see is I automatically see 8 and 16. So I think about, well, 8 will go into 16 twice. So I figured that might be a good starting point. So then I'll multiply 82 times 2. I know 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 8 is 16, 164. So I know that my missing factor is 2. So looking back at our problem, so two groups of 82 would equal 164. If you need a more concrete to prove that, then you could take your 82 plus your 82. 2 plus 2 is 4, and 8 plus 8 is 16. So 164. Now, going back to our problem, our next one is 90 times some factor will equal 810. Again, same strategy, taking the product and dividing it by one of the factors that is still remaining. I'd like for your students at this time to pause the video and work this problem and then check it based upon my solution. So 90 times something equals 810. So we've got 810 divided by 90. Again, finding those relationships, automatically see 9 and I see 81. So I think, hey, I know 9 times 9 is 81. Let's give it a shot. So now I know 9 times 0 is 0 and 9 times 9 is 81. Subtract and 0. So I know my missing factor is 9. And again, if you needed to check it, you can multiply that through. You could do repeated addition with 90 groups of 9 if that helps. So a couple of ways to double check that work. So something interesting my students I talk about a lot is that these problems all have names. So if we look at the equation, so we have 90 times, and we discovered 9 equals 810. So 90 times 9 equals 810. So the students typically hear these called factors and products. Both these are factors, and this is the product or the answer to a multiplication problem. Now that's fourth grade language. A lot of times in my class, just to expose my students to some higher level vocabulary, we'll dive in a little bit deeper sometimes. And something we haven't talked about this year is these factors actually have specific names. So the first one we're going to talk about is the multiplicand. So looking at that word, that is a mouthful, is definitely a mouthful. And the multiplicand is a quantity which is to be multiplied by another. So a quantity, an amount is to be multiplied by another. So that other being the 9, and that 9 actually has a special name. It is called the multiplier. And the multiplier is a number that multiplies. It's really that simple. So those are kind of a mouthful, the multiplicand and the multiplier. So, but they are the true names for the factors and when you're dealing with in a multiplication problem. Just a little extension of vocabulary today to go along with our number talk. Thanks so much.